Well, hello. Are you ready? Let's start the show. There we go. How are you? My name is Rusty Humphries. This is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. We got a lot going on today. There was a shooting. Sorry about that. We got the hearing with Rod Rosenstein. That was kind of cool. We got Trump gave a speech yesterday. All kinds of stuff. And a new song somebody sent me. I think it's pretty good. So do me a favor. Check in. Let me know who you are, where you are a deplorable from, and we're going to get the show started. By the way, today's show is being powered by the nice folks at Right Wing News. Also, Liberty One TV. If you haven't been to Liberty One TV, you should really go there. It's got a lot of great shows, a lot of great people there working. Also, would you please help us by supporting our sponsors. If you don't support the sponsors, we can't do the show anymore. Okay? So, number one, there was a huge privacy breach today, one of the biggest ever, and Virtual Shield might have been able to help you. Virtual Shield is the easiest to use and fastest virtual private network there is. Go to virtualshield.com/Rusty. Enter the promo code Rusty at sign up and get 20% off. All right? Glenn is there. Michelle checking in. Hello. Thumbs up from Dennis. Reagan is there. Deplorable from Texas. Ace is there. Terry is watching. Terry, how you doing? I tried to call you a few minutes ago, Terry. You know why. I'll call you after the show, Terry. I've known Terry since high school. She was my sister's best friend from elementary school through high school. And now her and her husband live down the street, and they have a new bar, they have a new smoker, and they have not invited me over to have brisket yet. What else do we got going on? Johnny's there. Craig's there. Karen, hi. Timothy's checking in from Cincinnati. Gold Star or Skyline, Timothy? My favorite Cincinnati question. Gold Star or Skyline? Laura's in Illinois. Janice is there. James, hi. Michelle is there. Craig, hi. Ron, hello. Jonathan, hello. Jim in Texas. Bob is a deplorable from Rhode Island. C says, please do something about medical marijuana patients being forced to choose safer meds or your gun rights. This horrific attack on the Second Amendment and public health access. Thank you. I'm not a big marijuana supporter. That's me. No one has been able to sway me. I don't think it should be tied in with gun licenses, though. That Second Amendment's pretty clear. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's a pretty strong word. I love how liberals go, well, we're not quite sure what infringed mean. Well, then you're a friggin' idiot. You're just a dumbass. Rodney is a second-timer from Florida. Gail is there from Foley, Alabama. Joe is from San Antonio. May is from California. Frank says, we're going to take the Senate, baby. Yep, you're right. Glenn checking in from Houston. Randy in Alaska. Janice in Lynchburg, VA. Joyce is in Minnesota. Donita is in Nebraska. Bob is from Wisconsin. Gary checking in from Brainerd, Minnesota. Corey is in, C is in Corey, Oklahoma. Carol's a big deplorable from Levittown, PA. Terry says, arrest Maxine Waters. I think she's tried to incite riots. Probably you can't arrest a congressperson. It's against the law. It's against the Constitution. The reason why is because back in the old days, if there was a vote and you're a congressman and you were going to vote the wrong way, the party in power was arresting people. They would arrest you because you were going to vote the wrong way, and then you'd miss the vote, and then they'd win, so they changed that. Jim's a righteous deplorable. Sean's there. Don's there. Judy's there. Paul is there. Jimmy's there. C's there. Glenn's there. Rowley's there. Mark's there. Sarah's there. John's there. Terry's there. Craig says, they'll take my guns from my dead, lifeless hands. Maxine for jail. And Mary says, how's it going? It's going good. Somebody sent me a pretty cool song. We'll get to some serious stuff in a little bit, but how about starting off today's program with a little patriotism and a little music, a little love for America here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion. This is Buddy Brown. and Red Like Reagan here on the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.
I can read your mind. We ain't about to get along, and I know why. You think we owe you when we don't. Yeah, there's a welfare line wrapping round Main Street. That money ought to help our boys coming back from overseas. We're gonna paint this country red like Reagan. Gonna shoot our guns, gonna eat our bacon. There's a great big bald eagle who's smiling on us, and soldiers who died for your privilege to fuss. If you wanna leave, 'cause you can't take it no more, man, I'll show you the damn door.
Alright, if you like the song, let's see some thumbs up.
I'll show you the damn door.
Or some hearts. If you don't like it, well, give the frowny face. I want to know what you think.
All these protests, you're throwing out some heavy words, and I'm just wondering, how the hell did you get off work? 'Cause I got 65 long hours that I just put in last week. Now I gotta go back home. Hear you whining on TV. We're about to paint this country red like Reagan. Gonna shoot our guns, gonna eat our bacon. There's a great big bald eagle who's smiling on us, and soldiers who died for your privilege to fuss. If you wanna leave, 'cause you can't take it no more, man, I'll show you the damn door.
I've never heard this song. I guess it's been out a while, some people are saying here. I think it's great, though. Whoever did the video is fantastic. Give it some more love. Share the video.
We're about to paint this country red like Reagan. Gonna shoot our guns and eat that bacon. There's a great big bald eagle who's smiling on us, and soldiers who died for your privilege to fuss. If you wanna leave, 'cause you can't take it no more, and I'll show you the damn door. I'll show you the damn door. Get out.
All right, that is Buddy Brown and Red Like Reagan. Feel like I'm doing a music show again. And coming up here on Z100, that's a great song though. I've never heard that before. Is that a hit? Rhonda says, I love anything that shows patriotism for this great country. Chris says, I'm almost tired of winning. Yeah, question I asked, are you getting tired of winning yet? I'm not there yet. I still I'm enjoying the winning. I could use more winning, but I'm not tired of the winning. Who gets tired of winning? Things are getting better. Very, very powerful hearing today. And Trey Gowdy, and Trey's been up and down. I don't know what's going on with him. But I'll tell you what, Trey Gowdy rocked the house with his questioning of Rod Rosenstein. Did you see it today? It was awesome.
He was talking about impeachment within 3 days of special counsel Mueller being appointed. 3 days. That's even quicker than MSNBC and the Democrats were talking about impeaching him. Within 3 days, the lead FBI agent is talking about impeaching the president. We're a year and a half into the presidency. We're over a year into special counsel. You have a counterintelligence investigation that's become public. You have a criminal investigation that's become political. You have more bias than I have ever seen manifest in a law enforcement officer in the 20 years I used to do it for a living. And 4 other DOJ employees who had manifest animus towards the person they were supposed to be neutrally and detachedly investigating. Democrats are using this investigation as a presumption of guilt, which I find astonishing. And in the long run, for the health of this republic, I would encourage them to go back to the presumption of innocence that we used to hold sacred. There's a presumption of guilt. There's a desire by Democrat senators to fundraise off of your investigation. More than 60 Democrats have already voted to proceed with impeachment before Bob Mueller has found a single solitary damn thing.
I can't disagree with a word he just said. Now, I thought Rod Rosenstein up there, you guys making this personal and you're coming after me because you're being mean. And it's like, no, we're tired of your crap. I want to see our country get back on track, and I want to see here's what I want to see. If you got something on Trump, I want to see it. If Trump got into bed with Putin and they were in bed and they're all, kissing and loving on each other, I want to know that. I'll be the first to say run him out of town on a rail. I don't believe it's true, though. Do you? Gaddy's so smart. Let's see here, says Mary, but he said he was retiring at the end of the year. Do you think he will? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's out. Jewel says, I just wish the Democrats and their core hosts would let our president do his job. I mean, they haven't let him do his job for one day. That's the thing. Not one day. I mean, from day one, they've been talking about impeachment. From day one, they've been talking about, I do remember at Rush Limbaugh when Obama got elected, he was saying, I hope he doesn't succeed. And his point was, I hope he doesn't succeed because I think his policies are bad. Okay. Nobody ever said, let's impeach him on day one. And then the Hollywood community that's just absolutely, losing their cotton picking minds. It's like, when's enough? Let's see. Dan says he's awesome. Love Trey. Bonnie says, I hope something gets done with this like jail time, but not holding my breath. Michael says, I came to your show and said the FBI committed perjury in Grand Junction, Colorado. His name was Zappy, and you still left me. Okay. Here's what happens when somebody is focused on themselves all the time. Every single day, it seems like, Michael comes on the show and says, hey, somebody did something to me at the FBI in Grand Junction, Colorado. Michael, what the hell do you want me to do? Do you want me to get in my car and drive up to Grand Junction, Colorado and hold your hand? I mean, I'm sorry. And I've mentioned it a couple times. It just gets frustrating when I'm supposed to stop the show for you, Michael, for one guy who's had a bad time. We've all had bad times. I'm not saying that this is good. And maybe the FBI did commit perjury or maybe they didn't. You've informed me. I've told people on the show. What more do you want me to do? Damn. Bill is in Pomona, California. Danita is there. Michael said, okay. Rush was demonized for months after that. That's true. They're trying to cause our president harm to his health. They don't realize he has the ability to ignore the trolls, LOL. Rush is always taken out of context. Doesn't matter what he says. That's true. Good always wins. That's Kathy. Okay. One of the damaging things I think happened during that 8 years of Obama was when we just decided if you want to pretend to be a boy or a girl or whatever, it was okay. Well, I just saw a video from a former transgender woman who is tearing apart the left's lies. Why? Well, let's find out together here and see what somebody who's actually gone through this is actually talking about. His name is Walt Higher here on the Rusty Neighbors Rebellion.
My name is Walt Higher, and I used to be a transgender. In fact, I lived 8 years as a transgender female. The reason I'm no longer a transgender is because I found the truth. And I found out, it took me a long time to discover the truth, but I started my journey of what they call transgenderism at the age of 4 and struggled with my gender identity for most of my life, and eventually got married in my early 20s, had 2 children. I was an executive for an automobile company. I worked on the Apollo space missions as a associate design engineer on cryogenic connectors, and struggled still with my identity until I went to one of those people they call experts in gender identity. In fact, the guy I went to was the guy who authored the original Harry Benjamin International Standards of Care, so he was an expert. And so he diagnosed me with gender identity disorder or gender dysphoria and said the cure for your problems that started when you were 4 was hormone therapy and gender reassignment surgery. And so I went through the protocols and spent the 2 years between the time I was first diagnosed wondering if this was going to work. And eventually in April of 1983, I underwent gender reassignment surgery in Trinidad, Colorado. It was a few years after that, about 5 or 6 years after that, I began to study psychology and of addictions at UC Santa Cruz, and began to crack open the books and found out that people who identify as a transgender are actually suffering from a variety of what they call comorbid disorders: schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, body dysmorphic disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and many other disorders that the people who are experts, like my doctor was, never pay any attention to. And it's, frankly speaking, from my point of view as a former young child who did this, it's child abuse, and it shouldn't be done.
I agree with that. I see more and more online. Yeah, this is Jimmy, and was born a boy, and he was so wrong, and now his parents have made him a girl. He's 7. Isn't it great? And I'm thinking, no. There's nothing good about it at all. Nothing. And the idea that you're going to help teach a boy to be a girl or a girl to be a boy when they're 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, when the hell they don't even know how to barely ride a bike, and you wouldn't let them choose what they're going to have for dinner. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm not going to let you choose what the family's going to have for dinner tonight, but you can choose if you want to be a boy or a girl. How does this end well? How does it end well? Tim's checking in from Nashville. How you doing? Let's see here. Reagan, it is absolutely child abuse to do that to a child. Let's see. I'm going to get rid of this person. I'm just sorry about that. Let's see. What else is going on in the news? Oh. So the other day, I saw a driverless car on the freeway in the Phoenix area. Now, it wasn't completely driverless. I mean, there was a woman behind the wheel, but she wasn't steering. You could see she had something on her lap, and she was kind of looking at it. But it had this big spinny thing at the top and spinny things on the side. I mean, I haven't my phone, I think. Maybe I can pull it up really quick. Probably not. Anyway, now Kroger wants to deliver groceries to your house with driverless cars. So they got this thing here, and they want to load it up, put your groceries in it, and send it to your house if it's about a mile or 2 away. I don't know. I'm all for technology. I've always been a big tech guy. But all this driverless stuff, do you like it? Or am I getting old when I'm going, I don't know, this just kind of seems, it's like, am I the only one that saw Terminator 2 with the drones and all this stuff where it was like, they were killing humans? I mean, I could see, this thing, this car, this whatever it is, I mean, I could see that full of weapons and shooting people. Oh no, here comes Arnold. The Terminator's come back. I don't know. It just seems like it's getting a little out of hand. And then the other thing that I don't like about it is we're taking away more people's jobs. In every store, and the latest thing in my store, it's called Fry's, but it's a Kroger store. They got these new things. You walk in, it's called Scan, Bag, and Shop, or Shop. I don't know. And you got these little devices and you scan your grocery, boop, you put it in the bag, and then when you go to check out, everything is in the handheld thing. You just scan it, everything pops up, and you're out in like 2 seconds. And it's like, okay, you're gonna there. I mean, and also, there's going to be no need for cashiers really soon. Heck, the Amazon store up in Seattle, they don't even have you scan stuff. The cameras follow you around. It knows what you put in the bag, and it charges you when you walk out. Wayne asks a good question. How are people going to make money if there are no jobs? I don't know. I'm telling you, it's starting to make me nervous. Jeff Bezos is talking about, I forget how it's pronounced or the exact wording, but it's a guaranteed minimum salary or something. And he's doing this. I've been talking about this before. I'm warning everybody because it's true. What is happening is Jeff Bezos knows Amazon has little robots running all over the place in those warehouses, and they got very few people. Facebook is the largest thing ever created with the largest reach in history. They only have 120,000 employees. And how are you going to afford it? Rhonda's got a question. Who's going to carry your groceries in? How much is delivery charge? And how are you going to pay delivery charge when you can't get a job? I don't know. Mary says machines will take over all the good jobs. Kara says, so according to the left, kids today know they are supposed to be the opposite sex. It's interesting because the brain isn't fully developed until age 25. Yeah, that's true. Yvonne is not convinced about driverless cars yet. Too many variables for accidents despite human errors. Not convinced yet. Now, I will say this. There has been one fatality. It was in the Phoenix area. This woman jumped out in front of the car, got hit by the car. Anybody could have done that. If you were behind the wheel or I was behind the wheel, it would have happened to us too. So I'm not going to blame the driverless car on that one. Let's see. Kind of cool, but a little dangerous, says Craig. Kathy checking in, saying hello. Carolyn says, I don't want a driverless car on any road I'm on. Again, I saw that driverless car, and it just didn't, it was driving along quite nicely. But let's see here. They raised the minimum wage in New York City. Wendy's has a self-serve. Now only 5 employees needed per shift. Forrest says, this is what happens when you request more pay than employers can afford. You pay a machine that replaces you. Computers only know what people have programmed them for. Still need people to input data, says Don. Well, let's see. The latest on the Supreme Court. Of course, Justice Kennedy dropped out. And looks like he's going to he's stepping down. They've got a list of few people. I like Mike Lee, senator out of Utah. I've met him. I've spent time with him in his office alone. I've talked to him. I don't know. I've probably talked to him 6-7 hours, just he and I in a couple of different settings. He clerked at the U.S. Supreme Court. He's probably the most qualified guy to be in the Supreme Court maybe ever. This guy, like I said, he'd been law school, lawyer, clerked at the Supreme Court, United States Senator. This is a guy that knows the law and is a strict constructionalist and constitutionalist and believes in the words of the Founding Fathers. Now, I'm sure there are other good guys. I don't know all of them on the list. I'm just saying I do know Mike Lee, and I think he'd be fabulous. Question is who would the governor of Utah put in to replace him until the next election? Let's see here. Mary says, send the machines to war. Keep our best at home. Bennett says, a friend of mine is working on driverless 18-wheeler technology. The hopes are for a small caravan of 18-wheelers to leave point A to go to point B, be serviced, then go back to point A. Haven't they done that? I thought they did one of those. They went from Reno to San Francisco, I think, recently. New news. Bill is just reporting. General Kelly has quit the White House. Is that right? Let's see. See if it's popped up on my news feed. Oh, you want to see the guy that shot up the newspaper today? Looks like a real winner. Yeah, there's the guy. He shot up the newspaper. We're still trying to figure out more. They say it was like a war zone. Police responded in 60 seconds. Oh, the killer lost a defamation case against the paper. Here's the latest on that, and I'll try to find the General Kelly story. Ponytailed white male with a shotgun and an explosive device shoots 5 dead, leaves 3 injured at the Capitol Gazette newsroom as cop reveals he mutilated his fingertips to avoid identification. So the lesson here is, if you think you're going to outsmart the cops on that, it took them a whole, extra 2 hours to find out who he was, so you probably don't need to mutilate your fingertips. That's just a tip for the day. Police say 5 people are dead. They responded within 60 seconds. The suspect, identified as Jared W. Ramos, 38, taken into custody following the shooting. People say that newspaper had received threats on social media prior to the shooting. He had unsuccessfully sued the newspaper and one of its former reporters in 2012 for defamation. Police report gunman reportedly damaged his fingertips so investigators couldn't fingerprint him. They recovered a long gun and what they thought to be an explosive device from the scene. Phil Davis, a court and crime reporter for the Gazette, said the gunman had shot through the glass door of the offices, then opened fire on the newspaper employees. Intern Anthony messaged, Anthony Messenger, I guess is the guy's name, tweeted at 2:43 p.m., "There's an active shooter, please help us." Holy moly. Good for the police. I'm glad they were able to do that. Now, here's my concern with that, the way they're reporting that. Now the left is going to go, see, police got there in 60 seconds. You don't need no gun. 5 people died. What if somebody had a concealed weapons permit? Would have 4 only died? Maybe only 3? Tony is a Ohio deplorable. How you doing, Tony? Wayne says, I'm a truck driver. I hope them driverless trucks drive off the side of a mountain. Michelle checking in from Jasper, Alabama. Let's see. I'm not seeing the General Kelly story. I'm sure it's up there. I just haven't seen it yet. TSA readies for the busiest day ever. I did not know this. Did you know that that Friday could be the busiest day of at airports? What's the story? You want to see the story? Let's see the story after the commercial. By the way, speaking of commercials, have you gotten my book yet? 7 Ways to Win Political Debates with your liberal family and friends. Still keep Miss Family and Friends. This is perfect for your 4th of July picnic and party, and you can get it on Kindle and have it right away. Won't cost you hardly anything. The other thing you could do is get the audio version, and I read it to you, and it's good. So 7 Ways to Win Political Debates, your liberal family and friends, only available at Amazon. So do yourself a favor and go get it right now, if you would please, Amazon or Audible. All right, let's see this latest story about Friday. Tomorrow could be record-setting at the airport. What's the story here? Go.
Approaching. If you are headed to the airport, you are going to want to leave yourself plenty of time. The TSA says it's possible that Friday, June 29th, will set a new record for the busiest single day ever. The agency expects to screen about 2.7 million passengers and crew. The all-time record for TSA screenings is 2.713 million. That happened on the Sunday after Thanksgiving in 2004. Even beyond Friday, the TSA expects to be incredibly busy through July 9th, so get there early. Don't go cutting folks in line. Matt Uris for WBZ News.
All right. I had no idea it was going to be that busy, although I can understand trying to get out of Phoenix. I drove from Laughlin, Nevada to Phoenix today, and man, is it hot. Like 100 and something. All right, Carolyn says the General Kelly deal is fake news. Thank you, Carolyn. I haven't seen the story, so I didn't know. Anything else going on in the news? I think President Trump's doing a good job. There was some information that may be something funky going on in North Korea, and I'm already hearing, yeah, Trump blew it with Kim Jong-un. Listen, we don't know what to do with these guys. Nobody does. Yeah, and he shouldn't be meeting with Putin. I don't know. I'd rather him meet with Putin and see what he can do. At least we know he won't give away the farm like certain other presidents were going to do. Kelly Kara says, Kelly's told colleagues he doesn't intend to stay in the role beyond his one-year anniversary, which is July 31st. Thank you, Kara. All right. No show tomorrow. Be there Monday, theoretically. Be kind of an abbreviated week because it's 4th of July week, and I don't want to do this. You're probably going to be busy anyway. So we'll see how next week goes if I'm on the air or not. But I do appreciate you. Do me a favor, would you please check out Virtual Shield and see how it can help you protect your privacy at home? virtualshield.com/Rusty. Use my name, Rusty, at checkout for a 20% discount. Also, go check out LibertyOneTV.com. See the great programming they have there and sign up and subscribe. Your support of our sponsors is absolutely critical at this moment. So please support our sponsors, Right Wing News, all the great folks. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. May God bless you, and may God bless America. I'm Rusty Humphries, and this is the Rusty Humphries Rebellion.